Alright everybody, I'm back, and now we're going to get into actually creating tiles and platforms, things like that for the player to actually be able to use. But before we do that, we're just going to create this really quick thing. We're going to do scene manager, get instance, oops, dot set menu scene. Actually, we might do this later because I have to get the callback, but that will be after. Okay, so actually we're just going to jump right into tiles. I didn't think about that. So we're going to create a new package. So we name it tiles, and then we're going to create a new class just called tile. So it's going to be pretty straightforward. It's going to extend the sprite, so we're going to be able to draw it to the screen. Now the way we want our tiles to work is we want to have one tile. The way to have it work is we're going to have a tile manager and then a tile. And the tile manager is going to hold different instances of a tile. So it might have a grass tile, a grass platform, a stone tile, I don't know, really anything you really want. I've seen the pictures for it. So you're gonna have all that stuff, and then pretty much the way that's gonna work is you're gonna load tiles in, and then instead of having to create a new one over and over, you're just gonna get an instance of it, so you don't have to keep on creating it. We won't have like 50 tile classes or anything like that. But you'll understand more. I don't want to confuse you guys too much, but you'll understand more in a little bit. But we're gonna create the constructor. This will be public tile. First, we're gonna give our tile a name. So we're gonna give a string name. We're gonna give it an ID. This can be used later, not gonna be used straight away, but we're gonna use it later. So we're gonna give it an ID. We need the x coordinate, the y coordinate, and we're gonna need the density, the elastic or elasticity. I don't really feel like spelling out that confusing word though. Friction. And then the reason that we need those is because we're going to be creating the actual body of them in this tile. So instead of having to create a body for every single tile, it's going to be created right in here. Then we're going to do texture, excuse me, region, and then we'll just do texture, and then we'll do vertex, buffer, object, manager, vbom, and then that, and then we're going to press Control Shift O, and we're just going to import everything. And now we need to do super, and this is going to be called so that we can well, it's going to call the super constructor, the super method, or the constructor of the sprite. So I'm going to put an X, Y, I think the texture is next, then vbom, if I'm not mistaken, which should be correct. Yep. And we just need to spelled that wrong. Import vertex, buffer, object, manager. Alright, that's good. Okay, next. Then we're going to just create a few variables. We're going to do private string name. Actually, we're going to make it final. We don't need to change these. Final string name. And then private final int ID. Private float. Might have to change this later on. Actually, no, never mind. Private final float. Density. Elastic. And friction, and then we're just pretty much going to set them in the constructor. So this dot name equals name, and this, for those of you who don't know what final does, because I know some people don't, pretty much makes it so you can't change the value of the variable outside of the constructor. Then we're going to do this dot ID equals ID, this dot density equals density, this dot elastic equals elastic, and this dot friction equals friction. So, and by the way, if I'm going too fast, just pause the video, to slow it down for you guys. Then we're going to, like I said, we're going to create the body of the actual tile inside here. So we're going to create the body right here. So we're going to do public void create body and attach. So what we want to do is we actually just want to create the body for the tile and then just attach it to the scene right away. So we're going to do physics world, and we're going to have the scene as well. And I guess actually, no, that'll work. Actually, I guess what we can do is we can just delete that, change this to body. We can just return body, that'll be easier. That way you can actually have the body itself. So we're going to do the final fixture def tile fixture def equals physics factory dot create fixture def, and we're just going to give it the density, the elastic, and the friction, and that's easy enough. Press Control Shift O to import that. Then we're going to do tile. Something I like to do def.restitution. So what the restitution is pretty much makes it so that the tile doesn't bounce. So I mean, if you put a 0, it doesn't bounce. So I mean, obviously tiles don't bounce. We're gonna do body equals physics factory dot create box body, and we're gonna do physics world this, because the tile is a sprite, so we're gonna give it this, and then we're gonna do body type, and we're gonna give it static, because the tile's not going to be moving. Of course, if you decide that you want to later on in the future, you can always make it so tiles can move left and right, whatever you want to do. But right now, there's going to be no gravity affecting it or anything like that, so we're going to keep it at static. Then we're just going to give it the definition. Then we're going to do return body. You see, I don't like that though. It's just going to be too much of a hassle. We're going to do void scene. Chances are pretty much add the body right after, so unless you need changes later on, then you can leave it like this. I'm going to do it like this though. So I'm going to do scene dot attach child body. The reason I want to do it like this is because I'm sorry, not body. We need to do this. The reason we need to do it like this is we need to create like first we have to attach it to the scene, then we have to create the physics connector. So it's easier just doing one function instead of spread it out. So physics world dot register physics connector, new physics connector, and then we're going to do this body true. So we're going to have it update the rotation and also the position, even though they're really not going to be edited at all. So that's that function there. Then we're just going to create some getter and setter methods. So actually just getter methods. We're going to do public string get name. Excuse me. Name. And then we're going to do public int get ID. And we're going to return ID. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to do public tile get instance. Float x, float y. And you'll see why I'm doing this in just a second, but for right now I'm not going to try and explain it. It'll make more sense when we get to the next once we get to the next part. So just recreate this. That should be that there. Oh, we never set the just do this dot get texture region, and then do this dot get text called vertex buffer manager. There it is. They can delete that there, I'm pretty sure. What are we missing? Name. Oh, we need the ID in here. So ID's got to be there too. And I'll explain this right in a second. So next we're going to create a new class here as well. We're going to call it tile manager. Now pretty much in here we're going to load all the tiles. It's going to be a pretty small class for right now though. We're just going to do private array list tile tiles equals new array list tile. Now what this is going to do is it's pretty much going to hold all of our tiles we're going to have in the game. So when we're going to be creating the level loader, I guess you want to call it, right now the level, whatever you want to call it, we're going to load levels. We'll be using this to find what tile we want to place where and what x coordinates, etc. So this will make even more sense later on. So we are gonna start loading them in. So we're gonna import this stuff first. I'm just gonna do public tile manager, create the constructor, vertex buffer object manager vbom, and then resource manager we'll need as well, rm for now. I don't feel like typing that all out. Import that, Control Shift O. Then we're just going to add new tiles in. So before we do that, actually now we're going to add them in now. So what I did was I actually added in some tile graphics. So I have a platform here, a grass platform, pretty basic platform, and then I also have a grass tile. So it's kind of like a 100 by 100 tile. You can make them any size you want. Just drop them into a folder inside a GFX folder. So inside of here, right click, create new folder, and just type in tiles, and then that'll load in from there. So what we're going to do first is we actually have to load these in. So let's go back to our resource manager. Scroll up to the top, and we're going to have to do new buildable bitmap texture atlas. So we're going to do private buildable bitmap texture atlas, and we're going to do tile texture atlas, and then first we'll do the grass region, and we'll do public. Wait, we don't even need to keep on redoing that. We can just do comma grass platform region. So you can spread it out if you want. I'm actually spread it out. It just looks more organized. You can read it a little bit better. Whatever works for you guys. But okay. I'm going to scroll down, and we're going to create a new method. Actually, we're just going to load it right in the game resources. That makes sense, doesn't it? Actually, yeah. Actually, no. We're going to load it. We're going to load it at a different spot because we're going to load these right away, and we're never going to unload them. We're going to do public void load tile resources. So the way this works is we're pretty much just going to load everything straight from these pictures here. We're going to load them in, then we're going to use them as tiles. So we're just going to pretty much do, we're going to copy this actually. Like I said, make it easier on ourselves and save me time in the video. Tile texture atlas, we'll do grass region here. Change this to tile, and then change this to grass. Now the other thing that we have to do is we have to come up here. Now because we changed the path where the files are held, we just have to change it here, so /tiles, and then that. So now it's going to load from the tiles folder, this folder here. So grass.png is one. I'm going to copy this, paste it here, and then we're going to change this to grass region. Oh no, grass platform region. Alright, so that's going to load in our tiles there. So then we're going to go back to Tile Manager, and we're pretty much just going to, using those two new pictures and everything, we're just going to load in these different tiles. We're going to do tiles.add new tile, and then we're going to do grass first. We'll do grass, and then it was the ID, so we're going to do 1. The x coordinate, the y coordinate, we're going to leave them as 0. You'll see why later. The densities, we're going to just give it 5 for now. 0f for the elastic, don't need that. We'll give it 0.05 for the friction. Friction is on a scale from 0 to 1, by the way, that's why it's so low. Same with the elastic and the restitution. Then we're going to give it the region, so we'll do rm dot. Oh wait, I don't even need this in here. Why do I even have this in here? We don't need that. Sorry. We're going to do resource manager dot get instance dot grass region, and then just vbomb. And that's going to be that. So now we're just going to copy this, paste it, and leave everything else the same except for the platform part. I'm going to leave this as 2 then. And then we're just going to change this to grass platform region. And then finally, we're going to create one more function. This will be used later on as well. You'll explain it, or it'll make more sense later. Public tile get tile by ID. So we want to let us get the tile by the ID if we need to search by it. You'll see why we need this later. So just follow what I'm doing. Tile t equals tiles. Don't need that because it's just going to be this. If t dot get ID equals ID, then we're going to return t, and if not, then we're just going to return null if it doesn't find anything. So what it does is it loops through all the tiles. If the tile that is in its current loop is ID equals the ID that we're searching for, it returns a tile. It goes through the whole thing, it gets to here, it returns nothing. So that's that. Now what we're going to have to do is pretty much now we want to go to the we want to go to the game scene, and we're going to have to create the tile manager in here. So inside the game scene, this is where we're going to create the tile manager, so that we can actually we probably just do it right in the resources manager. Yeah, we can do it right in the resources manager. So we're just going to load it straight up in here. It's pretty simple. I mean, it's all resources and stuff. For the most part, and the reason we're doing it here is because we really only need to load the tile manager once. If for example we keep on going back and forth between the games, keep on loading the tiles over and over again when they really don't need to be. They just need to be loaded once. So we're going to create a new variable. We're going to do private public tile manager. Close that, and then we're going to go down to the game resources, and actually we're just going to because I'll still load it more than once. We're just going to go to Prepare Manager, and we're going to do tile manager was new. Oh, this is a static. Let me see. We're gonna do public void load tile manager. Tile manager is new tile manager, and we should get the vbomb, and that should be good. So let's go back to game activity. Let's go to where we create the engine. Where the heck is it? Right after this. So we're going to do resource manager dot get instance dot load tile manager. Alright, perfect. So I'll load that just one time, and it will load these into the tile manager. So now let's try this. Let's go to create physics, and we're actually going to create a new method. We'll create it under add player. Do private void load tiles, and we're going to do create tiles. We're going to get rid of this method later. For now, it's just a little testing method. So we're going to do tile. We're going to do tile t equals resource manager dot get instance dot. I'm going to create a getter method actually. Let's go to resource manager. Just do under load tile manager. Do public. Actually, this is public, right? Yeah, it's public. Okay, never mind. Go back to game scene. Get instance dot tile manager dot get tile by ID. We're going to get the grass. So grass is tile 1. So we're getting the grass tile, and then what we're going to do after that is we are going to, because for example, say that we're going to get the instance of it. Because for example, say that say I get the instance of it here, I get the tile here. Well, it's getting the tile that is inside of the resource manager, or inside of the tile manager. So it's getting this tile right here. Now, say that we wanted to get another one, we need to create 2. Well, it's gonna. If I say let me give you an example. Say I did this, and I wanted this tile to be. I wanted this tile to be at. I wanted x to equal 20 for this tile, and I wanted x to equal 50 for this tile. Now, the reason this isn't going to work is because you're going to be getting the tile that we first created here, where we can change the x-coordinates, but it's going to change the x-coordinates to everything. So you're getting like a reference to the tile that is instantiated right here. Then anything you change is going to be changed here. So if we set the x-coordinate to 20 here, and then we set it to 50, like it's going to get set to 20, but once we set to 50 here, it's set to 50. So it's not actually creating a new tile, it's just getting a reference to the already made tile. That's what we have, the dot get instance, and then we can use an xy. So we can use 20 here if we wanted to, but I'm actually going to put it under the player. Hopefully that makes sense. It's kind of confusing how I explain that. Where did we add the player? We added the player at 0, 0, so we're going to add it at like negative 50. Why this at 100, so it's going to go down a little bit. And then we're going to do tile 1, tile 2. We're going to do that get instance. We'll put this at, because the tiles are 100, or are like 100 wide, I'm going to put that there. And we'll give this 100 as well. And then we'll add a tile after that. This one's going to be the platform. So this one's going to be the ID 2. So the second ID was the grass platform right here. So we're going to go back to game scene, and we're going to give this 100 by negative 50. So we want it to go up a little bit. I'm just going to delete these comments here. And then we're going to do, actually don't even need to create variables for them. We should do that, and we need to do dot attach, and then we need to do dot create body and attach. So we're going to do this comma physics world. So just copy this, we can do it for each one, paste it here, and then what it's going to do is it's going to get the instance, set it to the x and y coordinates, and then we're going to create the body and attach it straight to the scene. So it makes it really, really simple to be able to put tiles in. And after player, we're going to do create tiles, and that's that there. I'm going to delete that. So let me just test to make sure that this works. Let me double check that we did everything. I don't think that we loaded the resources of the actual tile manager. So if you go into resources, let's go down to load tile manager, and after that just do load tile resources. Just type that in, so that way the tile resources are loaded straight into the game. Then copy this try catch thing, piece of crap, I hate doing this, and then do tile, that doesn't glitch out or anything. Alright, now, hopefully this isn't giving any errors. Let me plug my phone in really quick. If you guys run it, I'm going to double check, I'm going to pause the video in a second. I'm going to run it right now, and if it gives any errors, let you guys know, we'll fix what happens, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, so there are a few problems. The first thing we need to do is we need to remove this from the onCreate resources. So we need to remove that completely. Get rid of that. It loads it too early, it can't load it then. Go into the resource manager. We're just going to have to load it in the actual load tile resources. We're going to type load tile manager. And then also we need to load the resources before we create the tile manager. So we need to load all these so that because if we don't have like the images, for example, it's going to call the constructor of tile manager, and it's going to try and create these regions here, but they were never like created. They were never instantiated, so they have to be placed first. And then after that, it should work completely. I'm going to try it right now. I haven't tried it, but that should fix it. Let's see. I'm watching the logcat. All right, let's see what the error is this time. Create tiles. 70. Game scene 70. Let's see, shall we? Okay, that doesn't help, does it, sir? This physics world. No, that's good. That's good. Let me see. Alright, I'm figure this out really quick. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, guys, I'm back. Okay, so I found the issue. If you go down to Resource Manager, just remove, you had it up here, just remove the call right here, just remove it completely, and then go back to Scene Manager and go down to Set Game Scene and just add it right here. So do Resource Manager.getInstance.load Tile Manager. For some reason that works, I'm not too sure why. I don't see why you can't just load it in the game resources, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Now one thing that I forgot to tell you guys, when I made my other project before this, I used the right now we're using GLES2 Anchor Center. GLES2 for the x coordinates. Let me open Paint really quick. I'm sure you'll know what I mean. For the x coordinates, typically, as you see, this is our little game screen. As you go down, the y coordinate gets greater. Now with this, as you go down, the y coordinate gets it decreases. So as you go down, you decrease. So we have to invert everything. Not really everything. It's kind of simple actually. So we're just going to go Resource Manager. We're going to go to we're going to go to Game Scene. Sorry, go to Game Scene. Go down to where we see Gravity Earth. Just put a negative sign in front of it so it goes downwards this time. And then go to Tile Manager. And then we are actually going to do go back to Game Scenes and down here. Go to Game Scene and then give it a -100, a -100, and then a +50. So 50. And now let's try running it, and it should be the correct gravity now. Yeah, I used GLES2 on my last one. So on GLES2, the y coordinate increases as you go down like normally. Yeah, looks like it's working right now. So give me 1 second. Let me see. I'm just gonna move this up a little bit. I'm gonna move him up, make sure he's falling. Because for some reason it looks like he's just standing there. I'm not too sure why. Let's see. Play. Nope, he's falling. So if you would move him up, for example, like I just did, then he's gonna fall. Now the reason for on my character at least, see how you have all this open space at the bottom? If you have this on a picture, and say you're a player, the collision box is going to be at this very bottom bar. So if you want to have a bigger, if you want to make the collision, more correct, then you can move this into the center, modify canvas size from the center, and we can make it a little bit shorter, so we can make it 90, or maybe 80. 80 would probably do it. So for my guy, that should probably do it. It should be good enough collisions. Then just move him down the corner so his feet actually touch the ground when he falls. Then I'm going to export it. Export, player, save. Okay. I'm gonna press F5 to And yeah, but gravity should be working. If you move your character up, you should fall. And in the next tutorial, we're going to be adding the ability to move left and right. So that'll be fun. But this is working good. If you guys have any questions or comments, you can comment below. But thanks for watching again, guys. Comment and subscribe. Have a good one.